In a special arrangement, our cameras and producers are allowed unrestricted access to the 24-hour world of the medical examiner's office as its employees respond to death scenes, perform autopsies,
got no gunshot wounds, stab wounds, blunt trauma,
and try to definitively determine the cause and manner of all deaths that occur under its jurisdiction.
There are many, many more questions that people have when they're dealing with a situation that involves a suspicious death. Very much raised concern that we were going to be dealing with an obvious homicide case with obvious injuries.
They talk with police to learn as much as they can about the deceased before going inside.
She's divorced and has 3 children with her ex-husband. The nanny was coming here today with the 3 children for visitation. They came in the home.
So the nanny was here just to drop them off,
Just to drop them off, yep. She's bipolar with hallucinations.
And where did you get that?
That's from the nanny.
Okay. Oh my God. I know her.
Suddenly, medical investigator Roman realizes something very personal.
That's not what made her growing up. She was across the street from her growing up.
This woman?
Yes.
While Roman has responded to hundreds of death scenes, nothing has ever been closer to home.
Actually, the first case that I've worked on personally that I've known someone quite well. So it's a little disturbing right now for me.
Dr. Spitz and investigator Roman go inside and find a scene straight out of a horror movie. Blood is smeared all over the doors, walls, and appliances. The sight of a former friend shocks medical investigator Roman.
This is rough. I may cry, so I apologize right now, but it's hard because it definitely hits home. And I knew everyone was healthy and happy, and just kind of condition it's heart-wrenching.
Making the case even more difficult, neither Dr. Spitz nor investigator Roman can find any obvious answers as to how the woman died.
It is very mysterious at this point. I tell you, it's a rare scene that I've been to where you have sort of conflicting evidence, with blood evidence indicating some type of trauma within a body, which doesn't show any trauma. So at this point, we haven't confirmed that the blood belongs to her.
If the blood isn't the woman's, then whose is it? And how did she die? Macomb County Sheriff Mark Hackle looks to Dr. Spitz to try to make some sense of the disturbing incident.
But when you start doing the autopsy, you can find a whole lot more. Certainly when Dr. Spitz gets that opportunity, he's going to have a little bit better information for us as to how she died, when she may have died, what may cause her death.
Dr. Spitz is done examining the body. A private company contracted by the medical examiner's office transports the victim to the morgue, where the autopsy will be performed the next morning. As the body leaves the scene, the sheriff's office continues the investigation. Detectives talk with neighbors who say they've heard loud noises over the last few weeks.
Door slamming, like commotion.
We have to move tomorrow and do what I have to do
Mostly at
now.
night, like a lot at night when I'm sleeping, midnight, after that. It's been pretty consistent, I'd have to say.
Investigators also question the woman's family and the man she lived with. The man is the father of the first of her 4 children. He tells police he saw blood in the house before he left in the morning, but wasn't concerned because the woman had a previous episode of smearing bodily fluids around the condo. He says he looked in on her, heard her breathing, and left.
My understanding is the boyfriend noticed some blood, but thought that maybe she was having a period.
Investigators cart off bags of evidence. As word of the bizarre bloody scene spreads, the local news shows up, and the woman's death becomes a top story. At the morgue, the woman's body is put in a walk-in cooler kept at 42 degrees Fahrenheit, halting decomposition. Dr. Spitz knows that law enforcement, as well as family, friends, and neighbors of the 42-year-old mother, including medical investigator Roland, are all anxious to learn if the autopsy will determine the cause of her death. Coming up.
This is getting interesting.
The autopsy reveals surprising information.
Yes, the question is, how does the blood play into this?
Can Dr. Spitz crack the case?
You know, this is a serious amount of bleeding.
Plus, can this skeleton put to rest 22 years of endless questions?
You go too fast, you don't really get on with your life. I got kind of late.
A 42-year-old woman is found dead in her condominium, but mysteriously, she has no visible wounds that indicate how she died, or where all the blood in her home came from.
We may not be able to determine exactly what caused her death. And looking at the scene, that's concerning to us because there is blood in and around the house.
Investigators hope Dr. Daniel Spitz, the medical examiner from Macomb and St. Clair counties in Michigan, will be able to make sense of the situation. The police call the medical examiner's office whenever they respond to a death, and Dr. Spitz begins an investigation that may include an autopsy.
It's a different thing every day. I go to crime scenes, I work with the police involving deaths and involving injury cases, so I never know when my phone rings what we're making.
Dr. Spitz is a forensic pathologist and often testifies at trials to explain his findings. One of the most high-profile cases he's investigated is the death of Tara Grant, a 34-year-old mother of two whose dismembered body was found in her garage in 2007.
All very indicative of a manual strangulation.
Her husband, Stephen Grant, was found guilty of second-degree murder. Dr. Spitz has investigated thousands of unexplained deaths, but the scene he finds at the condominium ranks as one of the most perplexing he's encountered.
This is totally a mystery. I think going in with an open mind as far as the exam tomorrow is the way to go, because it really could turn out to be almost anything.
It's almost 8 p.m. He'll perform the autopsy tomorrow morning at the morgue. But just when he thinks his day is over...
Hello?
Larry King Live calls. They want him to be part of a panel on tonight's show to discuss missing toddler Katie Anthony.
It's been a long day, but I got a call this afternoon that Larry King Live is going to be talking about the missing girl in Orlando, Florida. And we're going to talk about some forensic evidence that they have found. That's very concerning to me. The smell of decomposition is very distinct. The fact that
Dr. Spitz isn't the only one from his office still busy.
Okay, great. I will be on my way out there then. All right, let's see a little bit.
An employee of the medical examiner's office is on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to respond to death scenes. 6 medical investigators split 12-hour shifts. When someone's life ends, their work begins.
they go to these scenes and they collect the information that I need and that they need to make decisions about how a death investigation is going to be handled.
Pulling the night shift after the bloody scene at the condominium is medical investigator Hugo.
Virginia
In
Betty
today's
Ben.
world, a lot of people want to forget about
Quand
it.
tu dois laver la budget ta one dem notion.
And their families.
Si tu pas laver one dem.
She gets a call in the middle of the night. A 36-year-old male is found dead in his bed.
On the movie for to put it up in the room there.
And that was a real upsetting case because he was only 36 years old, you know, and he's younger than I am. Hi.
Medical investigators never know what type of scene they may be called out to during their shift, or how friends and family members of the deceased will react.
Sometimes they're looking for someone to blame. Sometimes they want to see the body and they can't see the body because it's grossly disfigured and it wouldn't be in their best interest to see the body, and they don't understand that. They think, oh no, I can see the body, I can handle it. I watch CSI, I can handle it, and it's nothing like that, especially when it's your loved one.
Judy's job is to gather as much
Some drugs in the past. What type of drugs did he used to do?
Wait, the way you play the jump coming on my bread. The bread, the way you put it there, the jump.
Hugo examines the body.
I'm going to go interview him and I have to take some photographs.
Oh, they have a piece of butter, you take it and put it in the butter.
Alcohol and drug use is an important clue that may help determine the cause of death. Even so, Hugo always keeps an open mind when inspecting a death scene.
You have to be careful not to get tunnel vision. on these cases, and you get your additional information, but that's why it's critical that we have to go to the scenes and we have to see the circumstances around it because it can change.
She follows a routine.
I usually start at the head, looking for any deformities to the head, if there are skull fractures, any bullet holes, anything that shouldn't be there. Then I go to the eyes, the neck, then work my way down the chest, make sure there's no stab wounds, no gunshot wounds, any trauma to the body, make an assessment, and then work my way down.
She doesn't see any sign of foul play.
He was just lying actually peacefully on the bed, almost like he was sleeping on his side. Nothing unusual with the scene. I have no objections if the family wants to come in and see him. He's in the cabin.
Because there is no obvious cause of death, the body will be brought back to the morgue for an autopsy by Dr. Spitz.
He'll be examined tomorrow morning, and he'll be released back to your family by late morning, early afternoon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Did 30-year-old Kurt Lewinsky drink himself to death, or is there more to the story?
That's some long-standing alcohol.
And all eyes are on Dr. Spitz as he looks for answers to the new mystery at the condominium.
The biggest thing right now is to say, hey, is there anything to account for her death that could be caused by somebody else?
It's 8 a.m. Macomb County Medical Examiner Daniel Spitz arrives at the morgue to perform the day's autopsies. His first case, a 42-year-old woman found dead under suspicious circumstances in her home, is front-page news.
I think the autopsy here is going to be critical to figure out, how this woman died. The scene and the body are telling a different story right now, so I'm excited to get started and try and figure this one out.
The woman is identified Andrea Bean, and more of her story is revealed. Police have responded to several disturbances at the residence in the past. She also has a history of mental illness. Information that may help ultimately determine the cause of death.
You never know when you're going to hold the vital piece of evidence, have the crucial finding, that aha moment.
2 morgue attendants assist Dr. Spitz with the autopsies.
No, I'm already done with time. This will be your third one.
Christina Heisler.
What I like about the death industry in general is that it's none like any other.
And Michelle Waters.
It never is the same thing. You will get something different every day.
It's mystery, we'll solve it. Hopefully.
Michelle x-rays the woman before the body bag is opened.
We mainly take these x-rays before we open the bag in case there's a piece of metal somewhere that we don't know, anything from a small bullet to a tip of a knife. But it's nice to find it before we get in there.
The body is transferred to the autopsy station where, as in an operating room, water, suction, and drainage are all available to aid in the procedure. A plastic seal showing the bag has not been opened and the body not tampered with since it left the death scene is cut open. They take photographs, focusing on any wounds or marks. There's usually at least one member of law enforcement present during the autopsy, but today there are several. Evidence of their interest in the case.
Obviously that doesn't account for the blood that's at the scene, but again, we don't know if it's her blood. We don't know how long the blood has been there.
Is she in a period or anything?
I don't know. We're gonna try and figure that out. This is not a routine case. This is not an obvious anything.
They unwrap the woman's hands, which were covered with paper bags at the scene to preserve potential evidence. Because of the suspicious nature of the death, forensic nurses are ordered to perform a sexual assault exam. They meticulously pull samples from the body and place them into marked envelopes and bags, which are sent to a lab. Christina takes several samples of blood from different parts of the body. Urine, eye fluid, and are also collected for toxicology and other tests.
Let's come on this side and do these photos.
Dr. Spink starts his exam with a careful review of the body. Recording his observations on a chart, he's trying to figure out how Andrea Dean died and where all the blood came from.
See any menstrual bloods? Alright, let's roll over and take a look at her back.
I see things in my eyes. I sneeze, I see how I've been coming there. When I look properly, I don't see. When I do that, I see walking on the room. Look at the room, I don't see nothing.
Associated with her death.
The internal exam might find something hidden.
I see
I
how
think
much
we're
roach in
ready
the
to
house.
go here. Just about. You guys take your last
But we kill how much of that in the house already?
detailed analysis of all the organs, looking at the organ-to-organ relationship.
Well, like the cabinet hunter.
Blood or infection.
An autopsy often finds that a person died from something completely unexpected.
The sky's the limit as to the kind of findings you can have internally. That's the whole medical part of the autopsy. The medical part.
Oui, dans les vidéos, on mettait à des films, moi, il n'y a pas de space. Où tu vas mettre les tablettes là? Tablette à PowerPoint? Qui m'a dit PowerPoint? Oui, pas Bluetooth.
No.
But then
Using
Dr.
Bluetooth, you know,
Spitz
login?
finds something that gets everyone's attention.
Is that working?
She does have an IUD.
You just been there like a picture or something?
Tell you it's not working.
Police officers
Tell you that it's a problem.
Well, download an app.
device has something to do with all the blood.
There's been some information put forth by the boyfriend that he thought this was menstrual blood because he saw the blood before he left for work in the morning. The fact that an IUD is present may actually prompt some inappropriate vaginal bleeding, but it doesn't really answer the question definitively. Can't look at this and say, wow, she must have been bleeding a whole bunch from this.
The autopsy isn't over until Dr. Spitz examines the woman.
Everybody gets an examination of the brain. We're looking for any kind of injury, bleeding over the surface of the brain, any infection that involves the brain, or any disease process that is in the brain.
Everyone observing the autopsy is eager for an answer, but Dr. Spitz isn't ready to reveal his findings just yet.
She has some sort of complicated past medical history that's going to have to be sorted out. So there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes right now, getting medical records and talking to family to see what kind of information you can gain. And then all this information gets sort of sifted through and final sense will be made of it.
It's time to prepare. Open up your bucket and you'll share.
The police are in the process now of determining the source of that blood, who came from, and how long it's been.
And the autopsy of a 36-year-old alcoholic finds something unexpected.
This case still is an unknown cause of death.
Wait, let me go. 56-year-old alcoholic. Look at that. Oui, alcohol could kill you in hospital. While you're sleeping in this, you had to stop it. Too much.
Medical examiner
Work for the
Dr.
blood,
Edward
for the
Spitz
heart.
is finishing up his
If the heart
autopsy of Andrea
pumping too
Dean,
hard, too much work for the
a
muscle.
42-year-old mother of four
It cannot
found
keep up.
dead
It is dying out.
in McLean County, Michigan.
Now, obviously, that doesn't account for the blood that's at the scene, but
He's trying to solve a mystery. A large amount of blood is found throughout Andrea's home, but strangely, there is no blood on her, and no wounds that show where the blood came from.
again, is it her blood, and how long has it been there? That one's recent. I mean, you can see the little tags of skin haven't dried out or anything.
Dr. Spitz takes a closer look at cuts on her knuckles to see if they are responsible for all the blood in the house.
Well, I'm not saying how she got it. I mean, she could have easily got it from punching the wall or sticking her hand across the wall. I'm saying, could that injury account for all the blood that you see at the scene? And it's just not a very big injury. I have a serious problem with accounting for all that blood with that injury by itself. Some of them actually appear to be old and healing. Just not what you'd expect when you're dealing with the kind of blood that we saw at the scene. And the blood at the scene was fairly extensive, smears up and down a 20-foot hallway, blood drops multiple blood drops on the floor.
Andrea's neck is carefully examined for signs of strangulation.
Rarely do you see an actual fracture with a strangulation.
After a thorough external and internal exam fails to find a direct cause of her death.
The biggest thing right now is to say, hey, is there anything to account for her death that could be caused by somebody else? And I'm not seeing it. There's nothing to indicate that this is a homicide.
What was most important here